I swear it's my third time recording the intro. Let's start. Hi everyone, welcome back on my channel. Recently it marked 2 years since I've been living in Berlin, so I decided to film more of a talking video of my immigration story, of how I decided to move to specifically the city, how is it like living in Germany, and maybe this video is gonna be useful for those of you who are still planning to do this step and to move into a new country, or are specifically thinking about moving to Berlin or to Germany. Grab something to drink and let's start. So, as you might expect, immigration is definitely a life-changing process which takes time. I think it's a never-ending process, and you always keep learning about the culture, about the people, and it doesn't matter if you've been living in a place for a month or 10 years. How did it actually happen? Berlin was never my dream place. I never expected that I would be moving here because I always had this idea in mind that after my bachelor's, I want to do my master's and I want to move to the UK because this is where usually people say that one of the best educational systems are. This is why 2.5 years ago, I decided to apply to a UK university, and I actually got accepted into some of the programs. I was happy, I knew what I want for my life, but at some point I just realized that maybe this is not the right thing and not the right place where I want to go. I just started looking for other master's programs, and the program that I have been studying in for the past 2 years just came up in the Google search, and I just decided to go for it. That's how spontaneous the Berlin idea was. But actually, before that, in 2019, I visited Berlin, and I didn't like it at all. Everything was just wrong. The city vibe, the weather, everything was not right in that moment. And when I came back home from Berlin, I said, I'm never gonna visit the city again. That sounds like a big phrase, yes, I know, but I just didn't connect to the city. If I'm filming this video, it means that something changed. And yes, in 2021, I decided to move here. And since then, it's been, of course, an incredible adventure in my life. And the first point that I want to discuss with you is actually the language barrier, because this is one of the first things that you encounter when you move to a new place. Berlin is super international. There are a lot of different cultures, people from all over the world, very English friendly in terms of whether or not you have to learn German. My personal opinion, if you know that you want to stay in a place for some time and you want to feel included somehow, you have to know the language at least to a certain level. And I've been learning German for the past 1.5 years maybe. So of course it's not the best, but I think it gets you a bit more of a feeling that you are a part of this place, you're a part of this city and culture somehow. But of course it's really dependent on you, how long you're planning to stay here. And German is not an easy language, so I totally understand those who are not studying it or having difficulties to learn this language. But I just think that, first of all, one of the things that really helps is seeing how other people are dealing with the problems. All my friends come from all over the world, and different people have different levels of language. So I just think that seeing that you're not alone in this situation really helped me. But of course, it needs also a lot of dedication and work on yourself to kind of realize that you cannot really speak your personal language, your mother tongue language anymore, and you have to speak English with a lot of people and speak German sometimes. I have made a whole video about some of the tips where I talked about accommodation, transportation, and some other paperworks that are necessary to do when you move to the city. So if you want to check it out, just go down below in one of my videos. I think another topic which is very important and really is a part of the life of every immigrant, is finding your people, finding friends. When I moved to Berlin, I didn't have anyone in this city. I was alone. I was terrified, scared, and also sad because all my friends were back home. So it was kind of a challenge, but I think if you're a student, for example, it's quite easy because you're always connected to some university, you're connected to your accommodation, for example. Berlin is a very open city in these terms, and it's a very young city. I think for me it was definitely a challenge because I am that kind of person who needs quite some time to get close to the person. So, I was very attached to my friends back home, and just seeing that you are alone in that situation is definitely a big step. But I think after some time you get really proud of yourself once you realize that you actually found friends, you found your group, the community you built around you, and this really makes you feel more home. In my case, for example, when I come back to Berlin, I know that I have people that are waiting. I know that I'm not just going back to my apartment where I will be alone again, but I will have really those people that make it as home for me. Berlin in these terms is great because it offers a lot of possibilities for young people. It has a lot of different things to do. In terms of work, I could also say that there are so many possibilities, but at the same time you have to be ready that you will face difficulties sometimes in finding a job, because as I said, a lot of people are currently moving to the city. A lot of people are looking for opportunities, and as I said as well before, some of them don't speak English. So there are many English speaking jobs right now in open positions, but there are also a lot of people applying to them. It's not an easy task, but for example, as a student, you can always work part-time. So in Germany, you can have this position as a working student, which limits you basically to 20 hours per week, which is great. The salaries are sometimes really, really good in international and big companies. I think if you're a student, it's really possible to find a job where you are gonna use only English, or for example, German to a certain point, so that you can practice the language even more. I think another point which is super important to keep in mind is that you have to be open of being homesick. It's normal. It's okay when you have been living in a certain place with your family, with your friends for like decades, for all your life. Then suddenly you have to give up your life which you are comfortable with the products, food, shops, the city itself, transportation, so many things. You just have to leave that behind and move to a new place. And I think it is normal. It's absolutely fine to feel that. I sometimes feel homesick. I remember some of the moments I used to have, some of the things that I used to do back home, and it's okay to feel like that. As I said, it's an ongoing process. What's great is that you have the chance to create new memories and find new places, find new people, and create that home in a new environment. I think it's nice to start over, to find new things and discover yourself from a new side, because I think I changed a lot in these 2 years. And whenever I go back home, I feel like it's so weird because everything stays very similar back home. You see the same people, you see the same city, but realize that you changed so much. You're scared and terrified of what's coming next. How are you gonna deal with immigrating to a new place? Just don't be afraid. Take the step and enjoy the experience, because that's a unique thing that's happening in your life. I promise you, you will find your people, you will find your career, an amazing apartment, and everything is gonna be great, but just don't be scared. I would love to hear your thoughts and experience of how you immigrated to a new place, or maybe you're still planning to do that. So please write them down below in the comments. That was all for today. I don't know how informative this video was. I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts and just to remember that I've been here for 2 years. Crazy. It's been 2 years. Can't believe. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos. Bye!